Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Astrology Dice reading. I really greatly appreciate y'all for being here. If you're new here, my name is Jeanette. Hello, hello. Do feel free to give me a like on this video if you enjoy the information. Every little bit helps the channel to grow. So thank you guys so much for your support. All right, jumping on in. We got a heck of a week here, you guys. I gotta be honest, we got a heck of a week. Covering obviously August 10th through the 16th here. First of all, I do want to say, as always, happy birthday to my Leo gang. You guys might be feeling it, you might be feeling it pretty heavy this week, right along with Geminis as well, and to a lesser extent, my Virgo people, okay? But Leos, I even though this may be a challenging week for you or for all of us, I sure hope you're having a great season, and you have had or are planning to have, will have, a beautiful birthday. Okay, guys, words. So the 14th, August 14th, we have Mars in Gemini conjuncting Jupiter in Gemini. Now, normally I don't talk about these bigger, more complicated aspects, but really this energy, it's so prominent. It's literally what we're working with this week. So I'm going to try to take it slow and try to articulate it as best as I can, because we also have Mercury retrograde entering Leo on the 14th, and then on the 15th we've got Mars in Gemini squaring Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Holy cow, you guys, words. Whew. Okay. This is really complicated because with Mars in Gemini conjuncting Jupiter in Gemini, there's this, I want to say it's like a toss of a coin, right? This could be favorable or it could be unfavorable, depending on how you utilize this energy and how you work with it, okay, in your personal life. Regardless of how everyone else is handling it around you, okay? And for some, they might not be handling it so well. So it's almost very important that you ground this week, into where you are, because there could be a lot of judgments, a lot of opinionated expressions, unsolicited advice, domineering attitudes. There's like a potential for some very high egos with Mars and Gemini. People think they're right? People think they're right here. And when we're looking at a conjunction, I do want to say and mention that it really depends. It could be an unfavorable or a more favorable aspect depending on what planets are at play. Here we have Mars, which is tending to be a more negative planet, and Jupiter obviously being a very positive planet. Okay, so again, it could go either way, and especially with this being in the twin sign of Gemini, it's very dualistic. Okay, so you have a choice here. Always trying to lean towards the one that is of least resistance for you, my friend, okay? Because egos could be super high this week, super high. People could be feeling very misunderstood, judged. If you're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, there are some things that you could do. You could express yourself in journaling and writing, burn off some of that extra energy with exercise. Nature, always a great idea to be around nature and to be around your element as well. Consume things that are calming, right? Not only calm environments, but also calming content. Try not to overwhelm or overstimulate this week. Okay, but also with this flip of the coin, it's not all bad. Jupiter being in Gemini, it kind of gives this extra energy, and if we utilize Mars properly for these expressions, there could be a lot of action in a positive direction here. Okay, we could be like excited to share, excited to get new ideas and conversations flowing here, and that energy could really get us going in a good way. But we could also be finding, thank you, Spirit, some very creative solutions to ongoing or long-running problems here, right? But we have to be open to that, which means out of the ego, out of your restrictions, out of your own binding, okay? Gosh, I hope that's making sense. Yeah. So, and also, this is all happening on the 14th. Mercury also retrograde entering Leo on the 14th. So it adds this sort of Oh gosh, I wrote it down. Hang on, there's a quote here. Okay, I'm going to quote astrology.com real quick on this energy. Courage and stupidity are interchangeable right now. So pick your battles accordingly. Pick your battles accordingly. Courage and stupidity are interchangeable right now. So pick your battles wisely. Okay, we could prioritize here self-reflection, not be too hard on ourselves while we're learning of ourselves, right? But this is like meant to empower us to learn how to express ourselves properly. But if we're not reflecting, if we're coming down on ourselves, if we're living in the bad energy, in the negative aspects of Mercury retrograde and Mars in Gemini, we could be really stifling ourselves, really setting ourselves back, okay? We almost need to reevaluate how we express ourselves to begin with. You know, like our creative passions too, and like where we put our energy. Because if we don't see where we're standing, there's like a really high chance here of like arrogance, like projection of self-righteousness or like self-centeredness. Okay, there could be like a lot of stubbornness in the collective as well. So being too rigid right now in one's own opinions or one's like inability to learn, right? We have to be able to learn here, if not of ourselves, then at least of others. Okay, and we have to be open to doing that, because come the 15th, Mars in Gemini is then squaring Saturn retrograde in Pisces. God, what does that mean? I'll just cut it to the short end of the stick here. Squares are not good. Squares are not fun. They bring, I don't want to say negative energy. God, that's not the right word. They bring they're challenging aspects, right? When things are squared to other things, it creates friction. I'll put it that way. Thank you, Spirit. And here on the 15th, we're looking at pushbacks. We're looking at roadblocks. This could hit us on a self-esteem level for some, right? Again, don't beat yourself up. But we could be like overly self-conscious at this time. We may like tend to overthink ourselves on this day, on the 15th, and kind of like stifle our own parade or stop our own self-expression. And then it could also hit us on a motivational level as well. This kind of feels like a wet blanket. It feels damp. It feels dampening, I guess is the best way I could say. When I really tap into the feeling, it feels like a dampening. Like Saturn's this like wet blanket on our fun, or like wet blanket on the things that we want to do. It just like, and it sucks out all the energy. And it feels like, so for some, we might be like unmotivated. We might be lethargic. We might like struggle with efficiency this week, but especially on this day. And we might some people may be getting pretty upset about it. All right, so tempers may flare on the 15th as well. Because again, there's this energy throughout the week where people just think they're right. And that can be very challenging because we have to be able to get along. Some of us may be open to expressing ourselves in a respectful way and getting along, playing nice, and indeed like learning from each other and expansion with Jupiter, right? Some of us will lean into that energy, but it also feels like there's the other half of the collective, right? And those who are sitting in the negative part of this, and they're fighting themselves and they're fighting everyone else, it just kind of dampens the collective potency of what we could accomplish. So for those of us who are willing to remain open, I suggest that we all do that as much as we can. Although, be kind and forgiving with yourself, because this week it will be very difficult to do just that. Okay? And having to navigate other people's piss poor attitudes, arrogance, or self-righteousness is not easy, especially when you're on the other end and you're open and you're trying to learn from them. You know, it almost makes it's like a wah, wah, wah for those of us who are trying to utilize the energy in a proper way. Okay, so again, if you end up feeling frustrated, there's a whole bunch of things you can do, because you might be on that negative side where you feel negatively this week, and that's perfectly natural, normal, and okay. And if you are feeling that way, get out in nature, get some exercise, try to stay as calm as you can. And I know we always say, like, stay open, remain positive. Sometimes that's not always, well, definitely it's not always easy, right, my friend? But it's not always exactly plausible. And sometimes we're not supposed to play that role either. So no matter what side of the coin you're on this week, try not to make it harder on yourself. You feel me? Yeah. I would suggest try to remain open and try not to sink into those negative energies, even though that's very prominent this week. So if you do sink into the negative, be forgiving yourself. It's okay. Just notice it and then try to realign. Back to center, my friend, right? Right back to center so that we can not only handle our own, right? But handle our own in the wake of others, if that makes any sense. Okay, is that it? Yes. So, best of luck out there, okay? And if you're having a challenging week this week, feel free to come back to this video for a little encouragement. Everything that you're experiencing is very natural and normal. Just try to ride the wave and try to ground yourself as best as you can in the more positive side of this energy. Okay, God, I think that is it. Yeah, that's it for this week. That was a mouthful. I hope that made sense. Okay, you guys, so now we're on to our dice roll. As always, if you don't know what we're looking at here, feel free to leave a comment below. And I will be more than happy to show you what we're looking at here in a more in-depth way. All right, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and get these bad boys out of here and begin our roll. Give me 1 second. Let me just zen for 1 minute. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. August 10th to the 16th. What 3 letters do you have for us? Remember, these can pertain to you guys on an individual scale, or as a collective. We could all pertain to this. Let's see if we could get any words or vibes. What do we have? Spirits, angels, guides. What 3 letters? We have W, L. That's so funny because I just heard well when I saw W. And then here comes L. That's interesting. H. W, L, H. Well, hello. All right, do feel free to let me know, guys, if any of those resonated for you. Now let me just get 1 second here. Let's see what we have for August 10th through the 16th. Spirits, angels, guides. What is the collective message? What do you have for me? August 10th through the 16th, 2024. Okay, we have Pisces. Oh, Uranus in the 3rd house. Pisces and Uranus in the 3rd house. Okay, Uranus here landing on the Empress. Pisces here on a 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7. 6, 7 of Earth, so 6 or 7 of Pentacles. Okay, touching that vibe, all right. And then here we have our 3rd house energy on 4, 5 of Cups. Okay, so let's call out these energies here. Obviously, we have Pisces on the table. 3rd house makes so much sense here as we're dealing with Mercury and Gemini there, okay? And we have Uranus on the table, which is ruler of Aquarius. We also have the Empress, which I wanted to say Venus. So I'm feeling the Venus there. Thank you, Spirit. And Taurus and Libra in that as well. Uranus came to us to play last week. And it's not that I don't like Uranus. Uranus is expansive, innovative, but kind of a troublemaker, if I gotta be honest. A little bit of a troublemaker here. Landing on our Empress. The Empress is about motherly energy, abundance here. I really want to say that the energy this week there's going to be, potential roadblocks, pushbacks. That's very Uranus. That feels very Uranus. That feels very, I'm here to shake up your reality. And it almost feels like fuck with your abundance. I gotta be honest. Something about motherly energy as well here. Some of you there could be some sort of strain on a motherly relationship for some. Others of us, this is I wanted to say very physical. Third house being also not only the house of communications, right? And ideas, flowing of conversations, but also small distance travel, technology, siblings. So this could have something to do with sibling rivalries or tensions in a family, tensions in a community as well. There could be also roadblocks in terms of getting to work this week. Gosh. Technology might be giving you hell. I see a lot of very angry customers and a lot of very stressed out customer service representatives out there this week. I'm so sorry. If you guys work in customer service or you work with a hotline, you work with technology or computers in any way, do be mindful. Try not to lose your head a little bit. Try to stay as calm as you can, because the energy here is one to shake up. One to shake up for sure. Now the third house here, oh my goodness, excuse me, landing on a 4-5. 4-5 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is boredom. It's disenchantment. It's being disconnected is what I'm feeling really heavy. So something here is strained or disconnected, and it almost like when we go from the 4 to the 5 of Cups, we almost sink down into the negativity of it. Because in the 5, we end up regretful, sad, ashamed. We have to be very forgiving with ourselves. I heard mother yourself. Wow. Interesting. Mother yourself. For some of us, there's a strain, and we just need to kind of ride the wave and love ourselves through it. But again, with this energy of we want to shake up your reality a little bit. It almost feels like a reminder as well. Something we need to pay attention to before it's too late. Also, this energy of maybe things might get worse before they get better. Ooh, we are being asked to utilize the flow of the fish in this Piscean energy. 6-7 here of Earth. 6 of Pentacles does talk about balance, reciprocity, giving back and receiving, the exchange of the give and the receive. But then we go to the 7 where there's a form of investment here. I feel we also need to look at, there's some sort of potentially subconscious behavior here with the Pisces that we might be disconnected from. We could be making things worse on ourselves, on our relationships, making our jobs harder when we sink down into that Five of Cups. We could be making relationships more strained than they need to be. And I feel here maybe Uranus is coming in to say, well, we're going to mesh it up a little bit and see how that sits with you. Oh, it doesn't sit so well. Okay, so maybe now we need to touch back a little. Back into the feelings, back into the flow of the fish. Pisces is incredibly intuitive, kind, spiritual, imaginative. There's a lot of beautiful energy when you reach the end of the wheel, right? When you reach the end of the zodiac into Pisces energy, it's almost like making dreams a reality, or contemplating what is reality as well. Thank you, Spirit. So there may be some massive spiritual awakenings coming from this energy as well, if you allow yourself to learn and grow from it. Invest in new ideas, invest back in those relationships, especially if it's about relationships with our coworkers, our neighborhoods, relationships with our mothers, our fathers, our siblings, right? There's almost this energy of use it before you lose it, or it's going to get worse before it gets better and we got to ride it. The subconscious, I'm really getting heavy with the subconscious energy of Pisces. It almost feels like there might be some programming in the collective as well that kind of just rides on autopilot. And now we're really being asked with Uranus here, is it working? And it's like we're being strained and pulled because it's not working. And it's being highlighted here that it's not working. Maybe it never did. And we just never saw it, right? A lot of different messages here for a lot of different people. Do take what resonates for you. But I feel like as a collective this week, we're being shaken up. Things are going to be tough. Things are going to be tough. But we also have this energy of being able to rise. See, because Pisces been through the whole zodiac wheel. Pisces has gone through the energy of Aries all the way through to Pisces. Has already lived a full life, almost, essentially. You feel me? So there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of emotional connection, a lot of spiritual expansion that Pisces lives in. But there's also this choice of choosing that. Choosing the higher level energy for a better investment. Whereas we can also sink into our subconscious, in our feelings, make things harder, make things worse. Go backwards, what ifs. You know, I'm really being with the third house and the short distance travel. I'm feeling like car troubles, problems connecting with people, delays in transportation. You might, if you take a bus, you might want to get there early this week every single day, because it might be very, very likely that there's transportation issues with the city buses. Even school buses. Thank you, Spirit. Even school buses. School is starting this week, at least out here in Nevada. So there's a lot of trying to reach others, or trying to get past the fact that we're going to have issues in reaching others, or there's going to be delays in getting there. There are going to be pushbacks. Uranus is here to almost require that. But it's for, you know, Uranus again is a rebel, right? Uranus has a grander picture. This could absolutely be to bring us abundance. But what is abundance to you? What is abundance in the collective? What does the world want to see, right? I think it's now time as well to imagine a bigger picture for ourselves rather than going backwards. But the rebel says here, I'm getting this energy of like, does that work? Does that work for you? No? Oh, well, maybe we need to reevaluate. Like, I feel very sassy from that. Like, very sassy. And maybe it's time we reevaluate those things. because it is about investment. It is about the give and the take of the collective, right? If you're on the other end of customer service people, right? If you don't work in customer service, then you're a customer. Even when you work in customer service, you're a customer. So we need to take that kindness, that higher level energy of Pisces back into, oh God, how do I put that? Oh, Spirit, how do I put that? That's like, it's like you need to extend kindness is what I'm getting out of that. Imagine what a greater world we could live in if we didn't let these little energetic hiccups stop us from loving each other anyway, from seeing abundance everywhere anyway, from getting along anyway. We could ignore it, or we could rise. And I feel this pull. Thank you, Spirit. I do. I feel this pull with the Pisces energy pulling us up this way. You feel, whoa, we got a little trine thing going on here. I love it when that happens. Can't believe I didn't notice it again. But I love how Pisces energy is the point. We're heading up if we allow ourselves to head up. We're expanding. We're imagining. We're coming to the end if we let ourselves. But we can also allow when Uranus comes in and says, well, does that work for you? We could go, yeah, it works just fine, even though it doesn't. You know what I mean? This is one of those weeks where we could absolutely stop our own train. Not only as individuals, but as a collective. And especially if we go out in the world and we're not kind to each other. We don't show that love and that reciprocity, right? Give back what you want to see. If we don't do that, what we're really doing isn't just stagnating the collective as a whole, but we're stagnating ourselves. So we're not just stagnating ourselves, we're stagnating the collective as a whole. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Shoot, Mercury retrograde has gotten me unable to speak. So I really hope that these messages are coming out good, or at least understandable enough, but I am getting trouble with travel and communication this week. It's essential that we ride the wave, right? When we're on thank you, Spirit. I'm seeing the river, right? When we're on our raft and we're floating through the river, there's very little you can do to navigate certain things. There are obstacles in the way. Say a rock is up there. Well, this is one of these times where we see a rock up there, baby. Now it's time to lean into the better energy, because that's really all that you can do. Because you're going to go one way or you're going to go the other. Now, which way is going to be better for you and the collective? It's to lean into the positive as much as you can. Lean into the calm. Lean into the love of Pisces. The big, granular, expansional love where we're all energy, collective energy, right? It's like big. But that's the point. That's where we're headed, into this grander love, grander understanding of the mission as a collective, as a whole. And it's like here we can allow ourselves to take from ourselves. We can allow ourselves to make it harder on ourselves, and we can make it harder for other people this week. Especially if you're working a job where you're actively around other people, or you're actively around technology that keeps breaking. It's supposed to make your life easier, but it doesn't. Now you got customers mad because your system's down. It's going to be a rough week for a lot of people. That's what I foresee. But again, there's a navigation factor. There is a choice. And I am feeling like that two-sided coin duality aspect here, where it's like you can lean into the negatives or you can lean into the positives. Now make your choice and choose fast, because there's a rock. We're headed for a rock, which is really difficult because if you're in the boat with other people, You're leaning this way, they're leaning that way. You could have a capsized boat as well. Thank you, Spirit. Whatever that means for you. So this week, there's a week to lean into good energy, better communications. I heard fall away. Allow the things that will fall away to fall away. And try not to make already strained relationships worse, or make things worse or harder on yourself this week. Just kind of remind yourself, yep, this was going to happen. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. And we just ride the wave through it. And try really hard not to project any yuck from in you on other people. You know what I mean? Because again, we're going to be feeling it. If you wake up in the morning and it's just like from the minute you wake up, man, nothing is going right. It's going to be like one of them kind of weeks, or at least there's going to be a few crucial days this week that are going to have us feeling like that. And you can cave into that energy and it will make your day shit. Or you could go, God, I can't believe already I've spilled my coffee. Almost slipped. God, thank God I didn't, fall on my head. But whew, I need to slow down a little bit. I need to take it a little breathe. Watch how we're talking to people. Watch how we're talking to ourselves. Watch how we're riding that wave. And I'm seeing, thank you, Spirit. And there's like this big picture energy where it's for the greater good to ride the wave. It's more prosperous for us to ride the wave. Is that it? That's it. Okay. I'm going to stop there. Yeah, I could keep going, but we're not going to. We're going to stop there. I think that's plenty of information for us. I really am wishing you guys the best week you could possibly have. Just be kind with yourself. Be kind with others. And as always, loves, if this information helps you, please give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. If you vibe, y'all, I really appreciate you. And until I see you next time, I'll see you next Saturday. Take care, and peace, love, and light to you, as always.